Your thoughts?
What? What? Who?
Nice.
Happy Monday. CJ Nasello, it's our daily show right here on RiverBender.com, Roku TV. Anywhere, everywhere you get this show, thanks for hanging out with us. We got a busy show today, and as you see on your screen, I am calling this Monday the calm before the storm. 2 reasons. We're going to get peppered with some thunderstorms later on today, and because I think we're all just kind of, ready for Tuesday to be over with. That's the poll today. We will be having election night coverage for you tomorrow night, 7 p.m. with myself, Dan Herkert. We'll bring you the insights of it with conversations with the elected officials. Presumed winners that night. We'll have conversations with politicians all over the Madison County area and the region, too, as we bring you that coverage. But that's the question. I call it the calm before the storm because I think we're just kind of burnt out, So anyway, the storm's coming tonight. We'll hit that on weather, and then election day's tomorrow, and RiverBender.com will be there for you every step of the way. Coming up in a couple of minutes, Ray Hartmann's going to call in for the final time before Election Day. He's going to fill us in on how he's feeling in his race against Ann Wagner. Then at 10:10, Grid Solar joins us for their solar energy education segment. At 10:35, Mary Cordes is in for Beyond the Shelves. But at 9:03, here's what's happening around the River Bend. 2 area sex offenders have been charged with failing to register as sex offenders with local authorities. Here's what we know. Michael K. Howard, 45, listed as homeless out of Alton, was charged on October the 5th for not reporting weekly as required and for resisting arrest. Howard has an extensive criminal history, including past charges of burglary and public indecency. He remains in custody. Brian G. Rogers, 58, also homeless from Granite City, is now facing similar charges for failing to report weekly. Rogers was granted pretrial release. Both men are presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Also in the news, a man from O'Fallon, Dwight Donnelly, has been charged with forgery for attempting to pass bad checks at Schwegel's Market in Alton. Here's what we know. The 37-year-old was charged 3 times in early September 2024 with amounts ranging from $14,580.52 to $6,000 and $2,500. The incident marks the 3rd forgery case linked to the market since 2023, following similar charges against 2 other individuals earlier this year. Donnelly has been granted pretrial release, and it's important to note that the charges are based solely upon probable cause. Also in the news this morning, the Alton Educational Foundation has been dedicated to supporting the Alton School District for over 23 years, and recently the foundation has partnered with the district to enhance career and technical education pathways and working-based learning opportunities for high school students. In this effort, they appointed Dr. Christy Bumgardner as the new executive director, bringing over 25 years of educational leadership experience. Board chairperson Kathleen Drosty expressed enthusiasm for Bumgardner's commitment and the potential benefits of expanded CTE initiatives. The foundation's traditional Guardians of Education program will continue to support teacher grants, ensuring a focus on classroom needs. Also, in the news today, this weekend's high school playoff football action, several teams showcased impressive performances across various classes. Belleville-Altoff dominated DuPont with a decisive 60-0 victory, while Elmwood Brimfield claimed a 55-26 win over Fithian Oakwood. Notable results include Gary Groves commanding 71-6 rout over Chicago Sin, and East St. Louis' 67-0 shutout against Springfield. You can see a full update on the sports results from the high school playoff scoreboard on RiverBender.com/sports. On Saturday morning, the Godfrey Fire Department responded to a garage fire on Ron Drive that threatened to spread to a nearby home. Firefighters quickly arrived and extinguished the blaze using only tank water from their engines, showcasing their effective firefighting tactics. A spokesperson emphasized the skill and determination of their team in preventing what could have been a significant result of damage. The area, known for its limited hydrants, made their rapid response and teamwork essential in this. The department expressed gratitude for the support of the Fosterburg Fire Department during this incident as well. Last week, during the 107th Alton Halloween Parade, Town Club Bar and Grill upheld its cherished tradition of serving hot chocolate. On October 31st, Cole Cribbs and his family offered warm drinks and those friendly conversations to parade goers. Owned by his father, Mark, the bar has been a community staple for decades. Cole expressed that their tradition, which has been running for over 5 years, is something they enjoy despite having other activities they could pursue. With higher temperatures this year, they also sold bottles of water to keep everyone hydrated, maintaining their commitment to their traditions. Also in area news, Caleb Donaldson achieved the rank of Eagle Scout on October the 9th, completing numerous merit badges and community service projects. This is fantastic. This year marks the 10th anniversary of his accomplishment of 2014, a milestone his father, Matthew, is eager to share. Matthew, a former Boy Scout leader, credits the program for shaping both of his sons into responsible adults. Caleb's Eagle Scout project involved creating a flower garden at Wilson Park, which still thrives 10 years later today. After years of waiting for recognition, Caleb's story is finally being told. And it's just great to see another area individual achieving that dedicated rank of Eagle Scout. That's a look at what's happening around the River Bend at 9:08. The rest were Halloween parade stories, and I think that we've got our fill of those. 64 degrees. It feels like 60 out there. Humidity at 97%. Now, today's going to be a little wild out there. Let's talk about it. Today, windy and mild with rain and a thunderstorm. Wet roads and lower visibility could lead to some travel disruptions or maybe just some slower drive times on the way home. Be careful out there today. Tonight, cloudy, windy, warm, and humid with a couple of showers and a heavy thunderstorm is predicted. Now, our weather desk is saying these thunderstorms could bring some flooding, downpours, hail, and damaging wind gusts. Before we go into weather, there was a couple of spots just driving in Alton that usually never collect water, and I don't know what started happening. Maybe, who knows? But there's been some pretty big, massive puddles out there, and you don't want to hydroplane, so slow down while you're driving through town and make sure you're getting to where you need to go. Temperatures will reach 72 degrees today and drop down to 64 degrees overnight as we head into Tuesday. Those thunderstorms continue into Tuesday morning and will last until about middle of the afternoon. A high of 67 degrees awaits us on Election Day, and a low of 43 is what we'll go out with and head into Wednesday with. On Wednesday, a high of 64, a low of 43 degrees. And on Thursday, a high of 65, a low again of 44. On Friday, a high of 66, a low of 49 degrees. Let's take a look at our weather map and see when we are going to start encountering some more heavy thunderstorms here and some more significant rainfall. You can see this weather map in real time all the time by going to RiverBender.com/weather. Here's our weather map for you, and as you can see right now, it's 9 a.m., and you can see some rain and some thunder overhead in pockets there in that red section. Some rain by 12, 4, 5, 6. Some more thunderstorms by 7 o'clock is when they're starting to predict some more nastier weather. And then, as you can see, by 4, 5, and 6, starts to clear out, then rain comes back into the area Tuesday into Tuesday afternoon. And that's a look at the next 24 hours of rain. Here's a look at what's happening now. It's 64 degrees in downtown Alton. It feels like 60. For time and temperature throughout the day, 618-465-4545. This time powered by Bounce Back Rehab Recover and Return Home. No wonder I got a headache. The mold count is extremely high today. It's at 16,088. That's a lot. That's high. It's about as high as I've ever seen it. So if you have some issues with mold, be careful out there. Maybe take some of your over-the-counter prescriptions and call it a good old day. 9:11's the time. Before we take a quick break, let me fill you in on some good deals. Some hot buys at RP Lumber. You know, it's getting to be that time of the year where you're starting to look for, Christmas gifts and making sure. It's so hard to buy for the father, the grandfather in your life sometimes, and even, our mothers and grandmothers, especially if they're, DIY doers and all of that good stuff, because it seems like they got everything. Not when you go to RP Lumber. Right now they have a Milwaukee pack out. This is where it's huge. This rolling pack out toolbox normally is about $139. You're saving $10 on this. And then for that pack out large toolbox, the regular price is about $89. You're going to get it for $79. Then if you look at just the smaller one, maybe just that pack out toolbox, you're looking around $79. You're still saving $5. But what about this? It's going to start getting to be that point where we're either going to get a lot of rain or we're going to get a lot of snow. You never know, especially when spring comes around the corner, or if you want to just start picking up that dirt basement and want to have a more efficient way of doing it, get that wet and dry vac with that detachable blower. You're going to save $10 on that VacMaster 10-gallon at $109. Plus, it doesn't just stop there. You're thinking about doing your basement work like I was just talking about. You can't work in the dark. So why don't you save big on their lighting equipment? Some 600-watt portable work light. You're going to save $5 on that. You're saving $5 on a 25-foot cord work light combo. Then that portable tripod work light, which I really love to use, you're going to save $10 on that as well. Also, hey, you can save 25% off all in-stock Dianlo sanding tools. It doesn't stop there. All you got to do is go to the RiverBender.com wallpaper, click on it, and it'll take you right to where you need to go. You're going to click on the RiverBender.com wallpaper or go to rplumber.com/promotions. You're going to select your store, and you're going to put your zip code in, and you're going to stop by, and you're going to start buying Christmas presents early. You're going to get your DIY projects going, and you're going to call it a successful daylight savings week. I'm telling you what, you can conquer this, and you can conquer it with us by going to RP Lumber, getting a jump start on those winter projects and your Christmas shopping needs. And don't forget to tell them that you know who sent you over their way. At 9:13, rplumber.com/promotions. And that's a look at what's happening around the Riverbend. Why don't we do this? Before we talk to Ray, we'll take a quick break and take a look at downtown Alton on RiverBender.com.
Looking for the best barbecue in Madison County? Head over to Carver's Barbecue in Godfrey, Illinois. From loaded barbecue nachos to mouth-watering pulled pork, brisket, ribs, and more, Carver's serves up award-winning flavors you'll love. Family-owned, Carver's is all about fresh, made in-house dishes served daily. Come visit us at 2716 Groveland in Godfrey, or give us a call at 618-467-9999. Order online, get it catered, or stop by for the best smoked meats around. Where great flavors meet family tradition, you'll find Carver's Barbecue.
Get paid to go solar.
We're not solar bros. At Grid, we're solar pros. We explain the process behind solar power so you can make an informed decision. We'll work with you to make owning your power as simple as possible and affordable with zero down financing and payment options. Our only goal is to save you money. Call Grid when you're ready to be independent of the power company.
We are Phillips 66 Wood River Refinery. We make the fuels that take us to work and our children to school. We make materials and energy products that allow us to stay connected to each other. We care about the quality and safety of our products because we care about the communities we share. Our employees live our values of safety, honor, and a commitment to act as good neighbors where we live and operate. We are Phillips 66.
I just got a new air conditioner. Top of the line.
I bet mine's better. It's so efficient and quiet, I hardly know it's running.
I've got you both trumped. I've got a Linux.
So do I.
Barrett Heating and Cooling carries Linux products to meet any budget. Don't gamble with your energy dollars. Call Barrett Heating and Cooling and start saving today.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
Yo, what up? It's Mike Keith, the proud graduate of Lewis and Clark Community College. I got my start in broadcasting and now I work all over the country. I discovered my path in media, but I could have been an electrician. Or I could have been a nurse.
Maybe not.
Picture This and More has been a trusted name in the Alton community for more than 30 years, with the last 3 being right here on Broadway. We specialize in quality framing at affordable prices. We also feature works by local artists because we're proud of our community. If you have valued treasures to display and preserve, we're sure to have the perfect fit with our large selection of custom framing and display options. Whatever color, shape, or size, Picture This and More has the look you need. Stop by today and let us help you with your next project.
When life throws unexpected challenges your way, you need a versatile legal ally to protect you. Sean Lentz, with over 12 years of experience, is here to help you in a variety of avenues. From personal injury to criminal defense and even semi-truck accidents, Sean Lentz has your back. Don't wait for the justice that you deserve. Call 618-465-8000 and see how Sean can help you today.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
I've been through the desert on a horse with no name. It felt good to be out of the rain. In the desert, you can't remember your name because there ain't no one for to give you no pain.
That song sounds familiar. Ray Hartman, 919. The calm before the storm on Tuesday. How are we doing, man?
What's happening is I race against Ann Wagner.
Well, and that's what I think's really exciting about this, Ray. I mean, people have been talking a little bit about this, and it seems like you got some really enthusiastic voters, especially down in the St. Louis County area.
Yeah, our district is about 3/4 St. Louis County, and about the rest is divided between mostly St. Charles and Franklin counties, and then a very small piece of Warren. And in St. Louis County, 40% of the total registered voters are in the clubhouse. They've already voted. Look, I'm looking at it right now. Just came in, and it's exactly what I thought it was going to be. It's 150,000 people have already cast their ballots at no excuse early voting, which is something we've never had here. And it's been extraordinary. And it's been, for me, it's been great because I've been out there every day. Haven't got out yet today. I'm waiting for the rain to stop a little. But I think I spent 36 hours shaking hands with voters in early actual voters as opposed to likely voters. And it's been, I tell you what, I think we're going to do better than people expect. Let's put it that way.
I honestly could see that too, Ray. And, let's talk about some of those conversations you've had. What's this last couple of weeks been like for you out on the trail?
It's been the best part of the race, and people, I've always known that voters tend to wait to the last couple of weeks, no matter how hard you work. They wait to the last couple of weeks to focus, particularly on a race like Congress, and even the presidency for a lot of people. But people are really, and first of all, it's been gratifying. I started RFT when I was 24, and I forget that a lot of people, I think I underestimated how many people know me with that. And then obviously 37 years on Donnybrook. And if I'm able to pull an upset, it's because I think I've built a good reputation in St. Louis, and people know me, and they know that I speak the truth as I see it, and that I'm not a politician. And I, my campaign, first of all, it has not been negative at all. I mean, I did my, I've made an issue out of Ann Wagner ghosting the district, but that's all about her job, not about anything personal.
Right.
She's trying to get a little less nice toward me, but that's okay. It's okay. She hadn't been that bad. And I would say that, so it's been an unusually positive campaign. We tried to use a little more humor and sort of, because part of my whole message is we gotta fix Congress, and it starts with everybody lightening up a little bit and not hating on one another and working across the aisle. And that message resonates about as much as any. And you know me, I think no one can accuse myself of taking myself too seriously. And not that I don't as a candidate, but you know what I mean? It's like,
well, yeah,
I think we just got to be normal to each other. And that message matters to people.
Well, and I've said this too. I mean, the last couple of months, I think folks were just kind of getting tone deaf to the yelling and the screaming and the rhetoric on, from anybody. And I think to have that to where, let's take the stick out a little bit and let's do this. And I think it's been really enjoyable, honestly, to kind of watch that side of it. And I'm sure you've had conversations with your constituents where it's, hey, why aren't you maybe attacking her on this? Or, do you think you're, but there's no reason to.
Right. And everybody knows that there's some big issues.
Oh,
so,
gosh,
for example, there's a real binary choice. For example, I will bring back Roe v. Wade protection to women and access in all 50 states to contraception and IVF. And she won't. Okay, so there's that. And there's also, she wants to end the Affordable Care Act, and I want to expand it. I mean, so we have some basic differences. But I'll tell you this, the biggest one is about, I always tell people, like in the line, I said, you're going to get sick of seeing me. And that's the opposite of ghosting the district. And we're not just talking about 12 years and no debates and no town halls, which is accurate, but it's more a matter of just being there. I cannot tell you how many people who seem pretty moderate, not necessarily in my camp, thanked me for being there. And really, they shouldn't have to thank me. I'm not a hero. It's your job. If you're running for office, I get a kick out of the fact that people think it's so wonderful that I'm out there. That's what you're supposed to do. It's like your boss thanking you for showing up to work. I mean, it's like, just because Ann Wagner hasn't done it doesn't mean that I'm some kind of hero for doing it.
Well, and honestly, I think that some of the things that are going on, and we've talked about this before, and I think the big misconception is that sometimes, federal elected officials federally can, help with local issues in St. Louis City, but just to be there and have a presence to know, hey, I can call my congressperson and say, hey, here's the issue I'm facing, and they're likely going to know about it, because I feel like that's been a disconnect that I've seen in publications, is that there's really not a pulse on local issues.
I think so. And understand, it's not just about getting stuff done. I mean, he has an office, that answers it. But it's about being able to communicate directly with the person who represents you, meaning whether you voted for that person or against it. When I'm elected, and I'm saying, I'll put it in when, we'll see. But when I'm elected, there'll be a news availability, for example, just about every time I'm back in the district, if there's anything going on at all in Congress. And it'll be interesting to see after all these years of the media, those of us in the media feeling, a little bit resentful for the fact that the congresswoman isn't available. It's going to swing in the other directions whether they want to keep showing up to cover stuff, because I'll do that. And I think that's the biggest difference between us. I've done dozens of events, literally dozens, that have been publicized where anyone with access to the internet could have come and met me. Even if it was a labor event, Democratic, or any other kind of event, they knew where I was at because it was advertised. Ann Wagner, honest to God, has not had one event, not one publicly advertised event where you knew, unless you were a campaign contributor and you were invited, where you could find her. Not one event in the entire election season. That goes to the primary and the general. She has not one event in St. Louis where you said, "Oh, I'm going to go see Ann Wagner and give her a piece of my mind," or say how much I like her. Not one event. Now, what is that? And that's in an election.
Yeah, I mean, that's just really fascinating to me in all the wrong ways. And speaking of one of the local issues that really, I think, jump-started a lot of the conversation, I think made the district even more competitive, was this radioactive waste. Has that been one of those unforgivables that you've had encountered there in the district, where it was just like, it seems like, Holly's after at the time, Cori Bush was, they both joined forces. Is that really sticking with constituents, or is that out of the viewpoint and they focusing on national issues?
It actually has, CJ, and I'll tell you why. I've been surprised to the degree it has, because it's so. I think she may have underestimated how broadly people now understand an issue, are aware of an issue they hadn't really paid attention to. So many people in our community, and look, on this issue, there is no difference between the first and the second and the third district. This tragedy of thousands of our citizens having been poisoned by radioactive waste and continuing to suffer generationally from cancer, some of the rarest and most horrible illnesses, and dying. That is something that knows no district borders. And in March, when the Senate passed a bill that would have, for the first time, gotten some little measure of relief, and we're talking about $3.7 billion would it be, in compensation to our victims and I say nobody cares whether they're in the first or second district. I mean, to people who are suffering. Ann Wagner came out against it because she said it was too expensive. Now, that didn't last long, because Josh Hawley called her shameful that night. And he's in the same party she is, and he didn't run it against her. He called her shameful, and other Republicans attacked her. And I always tell audience, if Josh Hawley calls you shameful, I don't know what to say. But that's a partisan set. But seriously though, she has underestimated that. Now, she tried to kind of weasel out of it. She's got all these excuses. But the one thing she cannot deny, because it's an empirical fact, is what she did not do. And what she did not do on March 8th, after the bill started in the House, she did not sponsor it and lead the way and lead the fight. She did not do that, and she can't claim that she did. She's trying to come up with she ended up voting for it, believe it or not, 10 days after, about 2 weeks after coming out against it.
Wow. Without
any explanation. She even said she was outraged that her party turned it down for the very reasons she had advocated 2 weeks earlier. Okay, but the point is that, and all that does is show you what a politician she is. So it's like, I think that I will say that issue. And what's interesting is I spent a lot of time in Franklin County, which I love, and it's the furthest part of the district from where the radioactive waste hit. It's not a part that, and people in Franklin County care just about. I mean, they really are upset about this, even because they know it's their brothers and sisters, and they may know people who are affected. So the fact that it isn't in their neighborhood directly, don't think that people in Franklin County that didn't get their attention, because it did.
Absolutely. And Ray, you have just a couple of hours left, a day and some change until we're going to start getting some results. And how are you just feeling overall? You're heading into this, and I wanted to touch on two things. Just, all this work, you've really been campaigning hard. You're out there each and every day. Would you do this all over again?
Yes. And I feel like you're an athlete, CJ. You know what this is like as a soccer star. I feel like I left it on the field. Yeah. You know what I mean? I feel like I've given it my best, and I'm not a hero. I just went out and did my best, and I absolutely would do it again. People have been so nice to me on the camp. I mean, really. I mean, obviously there are exceptions, but just like I said, I think I've spent 36 hours in talking to people in early voting lines in the past since a week ago Saturday. And that's been the most gratifying part of this whole thing, because people have been so nice and, again, complimentary, but also just they've been very, it's just really heartening. And of course, I'm from, I'm diehard St. Louis and born. And, but we genuinely, it's been a great experience. Yeah. And so I don't have any regrets. And I also don't have I'm not going to make a prediction of who's going to win or not. I will make this prediction. I think it's going to be much closer than people think. And I think we have a very realistic chance of victory.
Well, and before I let you go, too, because I know that you got some work to keep on getting on to, but I want to always talk about this Problem Solvers Caucus that you really are having your eyes set on. And I think that's a good message to kind of leave on, because watching the news on any channel the last 5 days has been brutal for people. Therapy's probably going to get discounted soon just for some mental relief. But you really want to go in and do some work across the aisle, and I'd love for you to fill our audience in before tomorrow in case they're interested.
Look, if I get elected, when I get elected, I'm going to be the tied for last in seniority, and my goal is to be tied for first in bipartisanship, okay? There's a Problem Solvers Caucus. It's 32 Democrats, 32 Republicans, and what they do is what you just described, CJ, which is to work across the aisle. They quietly get away from sound bites and try to find solutions. And if I don't care, the one thing I really feel strongly about, and you know this from working with me on radio, is issues aren't that simple. We want simplistic, one-line soundbite answers to some of the most complex subjects that we have. And sure, I'd love to tell somebody that yes to tariffs, no to tariffs, is one of those is the answer to international trade policy, but it's not. That stuff is complicated, and people don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear that immigration policy is complicated, or that fixing the economy and cutting the federal debt is somehow just you push a button. In fact, no one, and I don't care, I'm a Democrat, but I am not, this is not a battle of good Democrats versus evil Republicans or vice versa. It's the answers to most of our problems can best be achieved by the parties working together with give and take and not pretending that there's soundbite. I'm going to fix XYZ. It's just not who I am. So I'm glad you mentioned it. I am all about, and I think I got it from Donnybrook. In 37 years, we argued loudly, but we always stuck to the issues, not calling each other names. But we also very often found some common ground in the middle. And that's my DNA, and that's it. So I appreciate you bringing it up.
Well, and Ray, really appreciate your time. And tomorrow, if you have some time, we'll be on the air from 7 till about 10, 11 o'clock. And just would love to hear from you, regardless of what happens, man. It's just been great to see your campaign. And thanks for keeping us updated.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And thank you to all the RiverBender viewers. I guess it's listeners, right? And viewers?
Both. Yeah, they're a hybrid.
Well, in this case, I guess you don't have to look at me, right? Unless you got.
We got the website.
Thank you so much for your audience. And I hope the last thought I have is and this is whether you're in my district or not, please, please, please get out and vote. Absolutely. That's the most important you can do as an American. The second most important thing you can do as an American is vote for me, of course. But main thing, that's a distant second. But seriously, get out and vote, everybody.
Absolutely. Ray Hartmann, candidate for the 2nd District in Missouri for U.S. Congress. We'll talk tomorrow, hopefully, man, and just best of luck.
Thank you. Take care.
Quick break, more Daily Show after this.
I set the thermostat so my house would be warm when I got home from work, but the kitchen is still cool.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we stand behind every Linux system we sell.
My dealer said he'd take care of everything.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we understand everyone wants prompt, professional service.
Turns out it wasn't my furnace after all, just a little something blocking the vent.
Pretty smart dog if you ask me. For service you can count on, call Barrett Heating and Cooling.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible, covering auto, home, business, and life insurance. Our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
I had an amazing experience with Dr. Haug and her team. I came here when I was 10 years old to get my braces on. Now I'm 28 years old, braces off, and I get so many compliments on my smile. It's helped me thrive in my career as a news reporter, and also as Miss Missouri USA, I took the stage with confidence, knowing my smile was gonna make me look like $1 million. I've never felt better and more confident because of my smile.
You won't find a better health club than Nautilus Fitness Center. More cardio, more free weights and equipment, more classes, a swimming pool, and more. If you're serious about your health and want to make a change, then stop thinking about it and visit Nautilus Fitness Center on Industrial Drive in Alton. Don't fall for the hype you get from the other health clubs. Nautilus is the Riverbend's premier health club. Has been for years and will be for years to come. Get to Nautilus Fitness Center and get started on a healthier new you.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
You are ready for the Grafton Country Music Festival.
This is amazing. This is actually one of our artists, Kelly Wilkinson, does these custom burned hats. And they are so beautiful.
That is beautiful.
Been selling out. So I called her and I'm like, bring me more. So I grabbed the last one and I'm like, we'll have more in there today.
Well, I love the fact that the art gallery really encompasses all art because, you know, it took a while for, I feel like, traditional galleries to understand that we're a little bit past just the traditional paintings and which are beautiful, but there's so many new foundation or new creations and new, you know, art styles and new things like this that you have to incorporate in the art gallery, you know?
Absolutely. It's so cool. We have these hats, we have Kaylin's earrings, we have all, like, everything's been selling out. We sold out of sculptures. We had a boater that came through.
That's incredible.
He came through and he said, you know, I have to fill 2 of my houses. So he bought 7 sculptures that day. And he said, I'm coming back through. So then we sold out all the rest of them. So we just got a new stock of all our sculptures in. So
the one thing that changed, I'm nosy over there, sorry. One thing that changed everything, is this at the Grafton Art Gallery as well?
It is. This was actually my very first book.
Really?
So I wrote this book back in 2017 with a few friends of mine. Todd Stottlemyre, 3-time World Series champion. His dad played for the Yankees. He played for the Cardinals. He made a lot of money in baseball. Then he made a lot of money on Wall Street, built a lot of businesses. So a lot of years ago, we were working on a mobile company. And we just had this conference. Kyle Wilson comes in. He was the marketing guy for Jim Rohn. He brings in Ron White, who was a 2-time memory champion. I mean, just a really cool seminar. And Kyle says, you know, I'm writing my next book. And he's like, Jackie, I want your story in the book. So we put this out, you know, and it was just an anthology of a lot of people that came together. But, you know, it's so great. You read these stories of these incredible people that have overcome so many challenges and adversity. And then you get inspired.
You do,
and, you know? So that was my very first book. I put this one out, and I just kind of, you know, I still have about 100 of them because, I was really excited, so I bought a lot of books.
Well, and it's so cool to hear a little bit more just about your journey, too. And Grafton's full of so many wonderful people. And you know what? And it just goes back to we had Dan and we had Mary Jo on yesterday. And we're going to play that to end the show today because, I'll be there live in Grafton tomorrow from 1 to 3:15 to see who wins the ultimate giveaway. But we were talking about just how everyone, it's such a special thing. It's a formula that nobody else has right now, and that's everybody literally on the same page and understanding it's just community.
Yes.
Have fun and enjoy the moments and create this atmosphere, because if you're sour, this atmosphere won't get created.
Right.
And what you guys have, and that's why I was getting into this. We walk in, or Jackie walks in, she goes, hey, I want to plug the Grafton Country Music Festival tomorrow. It's just things like that where, I have so many folks on, and that's the last thing on a lot of people's mind is promoting something other than what their 15, 20 minutes is about, and I think it's just really cool.
Well, that's what I love. It's incredible. I grew up in Alton, and in my mind, I was moving to New York, I was moving to Chicago, and it was like I had all these grand plans, and, as you get older, you just really come to this place where you appreciate the community and how people support each other and lift each other up. And I'm like, man, I wouldn't change a thing. We live now in this little house in the back of the woods, and I get up and I stare at a waterfall and I paint. And then I get up and I go hang out in the gallery and get more inspired, and I go home and paint. And it's just, it's fun.
We have a lot of good stuff.
Life is fun.
Yeah, it is. So enjoy it. I never understood that, where you can't be miserable.
Right.
There's already enough that makes people miserable. Don't add to it.
Yes.
And so the art gallery is doing something really cool, and this is with the Christmas story.
Yes.
So everyone knows this. I'm a huge Christmas person. In about 2 weeks, because I give them a couple of weeks of a break, this room is going to look kind of just so much different. And it always does. But this is really cool to see someone's personal perspective on this. Now, fill me in on what the exhibit entails, what the overview is.
So what we're doing now is every 6 weeks we're going to launch a new exhibit. And so we just finished up Autumn's Palette, and then
was it well attended before we?
It was so great.
Good.
Oh my gosh, we'll have it on the wall for like 6 weeks, and every day we just get a whole new group of people coming in. So we've had thousands of people come in over the llast 6 weeks just looking at these artists' perspective of a celebration of fall colors. And as of today, we launch A Christmas Story.
Really cool.
So we were there till very late last night getting all the stuff done. and we're still, as you come in today, the gallery has not been transformed yet into the Christmas scene that it's going to be. But every day we're adding more. But the artist's work is on the walls today.
Really?
So you come in, we have several artists that have entered to be in this competition. It is a juried show, so we'll bring in a judge from outside because I never want to be the one that picks. It's not I can't.
No, you cannot do that to yourself.
It's so hard because all of these artists are so amazing.
Well, and you're an artist yourself, and it's really hard, I think, to switch that hat because, whenever you do it, it's hard to get out and put yourself into that driver's seat.
It is.
Yeah,
it is. And
totally.
you see, and especially when you hear the artist talk about it, it gives you a whole new level of perspective. You see all the layers of, what inspired them and what took them to that place. And so to hear them talk about it.
You just hit on that. I think that is always, to me, and I get somewhat in trouble, the painting and the finished product's always beautiful. I really care more about why you painted it, why you did something, because there's so much more there in that meaning of, why you sat there, especially some of these beautiful paintings from way back, like I was at Buckingham Palace, you see these Rembrandts on the wall.
Oh my gosh.
And it's like, what the hell, and
that's
you're just,
amazing.
but you want to know what's going through your mind. Like, do you know that you're this renowned guy? I mean, it's amazing. You know what I'm saying? It's just amazing stuff. That's what I find fascinating.
I love it. And that's what, I talk to so many people that they come in and they say, well, I'm not an artist. I just like to dabble. And I'm like, well, or I'll ask them, because they have a look in their eye when they look around and you see this appreciation for the art. And I'm like, are you an artist? And they're like, and they hesitate. And I'm like, they're an artist. I'm like, show me your phone. And they start going through their pictures. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you're an artist. And they're like, I just like to dabble. No. This is why we're doing this. We create this space that we launch these artists, and now we see them beginning. They start with us, and they start going into other galleries across St. Louis, and then they start submitting work to New York and California, and you just never know where they're going to end up.
Well, where you're at geographically is perfect too, because especially in this area, it was one of those things where I knew so many folks that had grandparents that could make these paintings and drawings, but they never entered a competition because honestly they never knew it. Not because maybe they didn't know how, but also because there wasn't really that encouragement. It was like, what the hell are you doing this for?
Right.
But when you have a group like, here locally, Wichita, but what you guys do in Grafton with this is really a support system of let's get you to that next level and let's showcase you in different spots too. I think the community is just rich in that right now.
And I have to share a couple stories. So there was a young lady that had come in the other day and said, I have a friend, she's 90 years young, and she has never shown her art, and she's looking at the stuff going, I got to get rid of all this stuff. And it's beautiful art that she's had in her house for decades, and she's never shown it to anybody. She would give stuff away to everybody. And so I said, let me see what she's got. So we put a lot of those pieces in our gift shop. There was one piece that actually fit the Christmas show theme, so we put her in the competition. You will see her work in this art exhibit this weekend.
This is so cool. See, and it's things like that where it's just, and it might not be, you're going and flying to New York, but to see that and have your friends come in and family and go, yeah, that's been on the wall for, 14 years, and here it is at the Grafton Art Gallery. That's a special moment that they're always going to remember. And now, what's the rule of entering this this exhibit? Because I wanted to kind of focus on the theme here because it's really open to their interpretation, correct?
It is. So essentially what we do is we put a button on our website that's just a call for art, and artists can go in and submit. They just hit the apply now, they fill out the form, they upload their images. And then we'll go through and we'll pick all the winners that will come into the show. So not everybody gets in every show.
Right.
But if, usually we try to find a space for them somewhere, because we want to give everyone a shot at having at least one piece shown in our gallery.
Well, and I think that's a really good way to do it too, because even though, it's a bummer when you don't get selected maybe that first time.
Right.
There's always something more powerful than getting rejected, and that's getting that phone call after all that work that you do maybe to improve it or maybe to do something different.
Yeah.
And I think that's missing right now, and I think it's a great component to add. It adds prestige really to the gallery.
It does.
Yeah.
And we give a lot of coaching in the process.
For sure.
We'll have a lot of new artists that don't know, all the logistics of how to hang the art or how to do all the extra things that are required by most galleries to even get in. So with this show, we have so many artists that are taking their perspective of Christmas, and some are very abstract, and some are just focused on the colors. And so there's so many cool interpretations.
Yeah.
I even have one that came in with a beautiful macrame piece that I would have never even thought that could have been, but just the stuff that's getting submitted, it blows me away. And so to give them this space and say, okay, you come into the gallery, everything on the middle wall is part of the featured exhibit. You'll see it for the next 6 weeks. But then on the 15th, we're going to do a special show.
I want to talk about that. But let's do this. Let's take a quick break at 10:20 so you guys can stick around through this and thank our sponsors. At 10:20, we'll come back with more of the Grafton Art Gallery right after this in the heart of the 618. Ready for fantastic deals? Head to Village Dispensary, where every day is a celebration. Start your week with 25% off Dog Walker pre-rolls on Monday. Tuesday, enjoy 25% off Dibs gummies. On Wednesday, enjoy 30% off Nevada pens. On Thursday, it's 30% off CQ sodas, margaritas, and more. Friday, enjoy 3.5 grams of Megatron by NGW and Cronuts number 4 by Paul Bunyan for $25. Visit VillageDispo.com and shop now.
Picture This and More has been a trusted name in the Alton community for more than 30 years, with the last 3 being right here on Broadway. We specialize in quality framing at affordable prices. We also feature works by local artists because we're proud of our community. If you have valued treasures to display and preserve, we're sure to have the perfect fit with our large selection of custom framing and display options. Whatever color, shape, or size, Picture This and More has the look you need. Stop by today and let us help you with your next project.
Do you need to declutter your space? Time to call me, the Queen of Junk. Since 1993, we have grown to be the leader in residential, commercial, and property management junk removal. At Sparks Junk Removal, we are eco-friendly. We recycle, donate, or repurpose items back into our community. Trash is our last resort to the landfill. Plus, with our all-inclusive service, our crews handle everything from labor to lifting and landfill fees. Give us a call or visit our website, sparksjunkremoval.net, to reclaim your space today.
Looking for the best barbecue in Madison County? Head over to Carver's Barbecue in Godfrey, Illinois. From loaded barbecue nachos to mouth-watering pulled pork, brisket, ribs, and more, Carver's serves up award-winning flavors you'll love. Family-owned, Carver's is all about fresh, made in-house dishes served daily. Come visit us at 2716 Groveland in Godfrey, or give us a call at 618-467-9999. Order online, get it catered, or stop by for the best smoked meats around. Where great flavors meet family tradition, you'll find Carver's Barbecue.
Happy Halloween from RiverBender.com. Now, back to our daily show.
Amazing. Sorry, we're talking. Back to the show. I had the microphones off, so they're like, what the hell, CJ? The music stopped, and here you are just yammering away. The event is on November the
15th.
15th. And this is a nice, really going to be a nice night. Yeah. And really a great way to kick off just the holiday season in general.
It is. We're going to run it from 6 to 8, and we're expecting a packed gallery because we have the artists that are coming in with their friends and family. So usually we'll have like 30 to 50 people. But because I'm talking about it here, I expect all of you to join us. So it's open to the community.
Don't
Come
let
and
me
hang
down.
out. But
Bruce.
no, we'll have some, we'll have some food. We'll have, not alcohol, but we'll have some, drinks and snacks and things, and just a chance to come in, see the gallery, meet the artists, and kind of hear why they did what they did. And then at 7:15, the judge will be able to announce all the winners. So there's cash prizes on the table, and we'll be giving away some fun prizes.
What's the winner get? What's the cash prize?
So we do $100 cash, $75,
cool.
and $50.
That's nice.
And then a couple honorable mentions, and we will do a People's Choice Award. So that'll have a surprise gift with it too. And so we need you to come in and vote for your favorite artist.
That's wonderful. And wanted to mention as well, you were talking during the break about this Veterans Day event.
Yes. So the National Memorial Military Ascent. I cannot talk about Grafton without talking about the memorial.
Oh man, it's amazing.
It's so exciting. We just got some of the pictures of what they're doing. They're they did the live scans of the statues.
Yeah. Was there someone's son that was who?
It was my son.
Was it? I had no idea. I'm not even. That was not scripted.
No, but that's and there's another Tyler. So he was the son. Whose son was it? But then they had some Army Rangers come in, and they had some military guys come in, and it was the real deal. And they actually worked with the battalion of Army Rangers in St. Louis to bring in all the authentic equipment. And I mean, we've been working really, because we want to make sure that everything within this is authentic and really helps, just promote the history.
That's such a good point, because so many times you see cities that go, oh, we're going to put this memorial in. But it's not, it's the announcement, and then that's kind of it, and it's kind of second wind. Everybody is really firing on all cylinders with this, and it's going to become a really big deal when this thing is really launched.
It is. I'll tell you, the mayor has been working nonstop. Yeah, and he's been talking to so many groups, going all over, talking to different veteran groups, just telling the story of what it is and what it's going to be. And I haven't met anybody that's been negative about it. I mean, it has been, everyone's so excited for what's coming. And to see, we've had some of the, they're doing the bronzing now. So the radio is done. The helmet is done. You start to see these pieces come through. And it just, everything I see come every day, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's happening. We're going.
Do we have a date on this yet?
Yes. So Veterans Day, there's going to be a really big fundraiser in Clayton, and it's $250 a ticket, and this very, very limited seating. So there's only a few tickets left. So if you're interested, go today and buy a ticket.
This is a real fundraiser.
This is a very real fundraiser. There's going to be a lot of prominent people in the room that are excited to see how this is going to honor our veterans and the history of our country.
This is so cool. And honestly, I just think Grafton's really figured it out, and I just keep bragging about you guys. I mean, it's just because we always talked about, Grafton was a summer town, or but I mean, now every month there's a big event or a big weekend, and then many events around it, and it's amazing what you guys are doing.
The Chocolate Express is coming. I have to talk about the Chocolate Express.
Yeah, please
December 7th. That is going to be, you come in, it's a chocolate stroll, sip, and shop. You come down to City Hall, you get a whole bunch of chocolate, and then you go shop to shop, and we've all got chocolate trees for you.
It's amazing.
So,
What else is going down at Grafton Art Gallery?
So we'll do the juried competition on the, so everyone come in from 6 to 8, and then I will be doing another call for art. For January, it's going to be Sacred Bonds, the significance between the Eagles and the Native American culture. So I've already had several people submit some beautiful art, but looking for that, we're going to kick that off in January, and then all next year. Every 6 weeks, we've got a new exhibit coming. So I'm calling on my artist friends. Check the shows out because we need you to tell the stories.
Jackie, thanks so much for stopping by. This is so... Oh,
Cayuditas.
Oh, wait, yeah, we forgot
one. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay, so I wrote the first book, 2017. This just came out. It posted on September 26th. It went, in 24 hours, it went #1. It was a bestseller in 54 categories.
Good for you. That's wonderful.
Thank you. #1 in United States, Canada, and Brazil. So we had 32 authors. It's for sale right now in the gallery. Come and buy a copy. I will sign it, and it's continuing to sell out.
That's
so come on down.
What's the premise?
The premise is just women, beautiful Hispanic women. They were growing up hearing the phrase, "Calladita, tu ves más bonita," meaning you're prettier when you're quiet. And we're finding out that's the case. So we are shouting. We are telling our stories.
Good for you. That's
and so,
amazing.
yeah, come and read it. You will be so inspired. It is so incredible. It's going to be a lot of the authors on hand tomorrow to do the book signing at the Dia de los Muertos event on the Missouri History Museum. And
see, I told you I had a good show today. It all came full circle.
Yes, and then you can also buy it on my website, JackieDuty.com, where you can also get my photography and merchandising and puzzles and all kinds of T-shirts and fun things. So check it out.
There you go, Jackie. This was fun as always.
Thank you.
We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll replay the I'm done live today. I mean, we got a soccer game at 5 o'clock, so I love you guys. Try your best to stay out of jail. But also, we're going to be playing, before we wrap up, the conversation with Dan and Mary Jo yesterday with the Grafton Country Music.
Life's better when you're under the American Family Insurance roof because they know your house is home base for their dreams. Whether it's a kid like me aiming for the big leagues, ready, future rocket scientist, or a budding prima ballerina. When you feel totally protected, your family's free to pursue their dreams. She's good.
Let's go.
American Family Insurance.
When life throws unexpected challenges your way, you need a versatile legal ally to protect you. Sean Lentz, with over 12 years of experience, is here to help you in a variety of avenues. From personal injury to criminal defense and even semi-truck accidents, Sean Lentz has your back. Don't wait for the justice that you deserve. Call 618-465-8000 and see how Sean can help you today.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
Ready for fantastic deals? Head to Village Dispensary, where every day is a celebration. Start your week with 25% off Dog Walker pre-rolls on Monday. Tuesday, enjoy 25% off Divs gummies. On Wednesday, enjoy 30% off Nevada pens. On Thursday, it's 30% off CQ sodas, margaritas, and more. Friday, enjoy 3.5 grams of Megatron by NGW and Cronuts number 4 by Paul Bunyan for $25. Visit VillageDispo.com and shop now.
Picture This and More has been a trusted name in the Alton community for more than 30 years, with the last 3 being right here on Broadway. We specialize in quality framing at affordable prices. We also feature works by local artists because we're proud of our community. If you have valued treasures to display and preserve, we're sure to have the perfect fit with our large selection of custom framing and display options. Whatever color, shape, or size, Picture This and More has the look you need. Stop by today and let us help you with your next project.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
Still trying to make a name, knowing nothing's gonna change what I am. I was a young troubadour.
Welcome back. 10 o'clock on the dot.
I'll be an old
I love that song. Man, I'm telling you what, our internet is about as slower than all get out today, but that's okay. You know, things happen. Do you want to change to top of the hour news? You got to talk nice to this thing. Oh, I guess it's not going to. Okay. Let me try. Just give me 2 seconds, okay? You guys are here with me anyway. You know, what the hell. Okay, still not That's okay. Top of the hour news at 10 o'clock, and here's what you need to know. On Sunday morning, the Godfrey Fire Protection District responded to a garage fire on Ron Drive that threatened to spread to a nearby home. Here's what we know. Firefighters quickly arrived and extinguished the blaze using only tank water from their engine, showcasing the effective firefighting tactic. A spokesperson emphasized skill and determination of the team in preventing what could have been significant damage. The area, known for its limited hydrants, made their rapid response and teamwork essential. Also, in the news today, the Edwardsville Glen Carbon Halloween Parade took place on the 31st of October and attracted a large crowd that enjoyed the stunning floats and festive atmosphere. Months of careful planning led to this highlight of the community's autumn celebrations. Children eagerly collected Halloween candy, adding to the spirit. Katie Haas from the Ed Glen Chamber of Commerce highlighted the parade's significance, stating it showcases the community's unity and creativity. She emphasized the importance of traditional events, noting how rewarding it is to see such gatherings continue to thrive, reinforcing those community bonds in the region. Also in the news today at 10:02, each November, the home care and hospice community honors millions of nurses, home care aides, therapists, social workers who make a remarkable difference for their patients and the families in which they serve. These heroic caregivers play a central role in our health care system and in homes across the nation. To recognize their efforts, both at home and in their local communities, OSF Hospice and OSF Home Care Services, along with the National Association for Home Care and Hospice, celebrate November as National Home Care and Hospice Month. With 10,000 Americans turning 65 every day, the need for health care will continue to rise and costs continue to skyrocket. This is where home care and hospice come in. As the preferred choice for most patients, it also the greatest cost savings. For example, Medicare pays nearly $2,000 per day for a typical hospital stay and around $450 per day for a typical nursing home stay. Meanwhile, home care costs less than $100 a day and helps many U.S. seniors remain independent at home, enrich their lives, and keep in touch with those they love. Also, in the news this morning, the Friends of David Goines Association donated to All God's Children Shall Have Shoes, the local nonprofit that provides new shoes and socks to area students. Mayor David Goines and the Friends of David Goines group recently sponsored the Mayor's Ball to raise funds for Goines' campaign and All of God's Children Shall Have Shoes. Goines noted his excitement to donate to the organization. All God's Children Shall Have Shoes is a nonprofit that purchases shoes for over 700 local kids in December. They bring in students from 25 different schools in the community and take them to Famous Footwear at the Alton Square Mall. There, volunteers measure the kids' feet and will help them pick out shoes and socks in the correct size. It's right at Christmas, so it's the perfect time of the year, said Patrick Doc Holliday, one of the organization's founders. The kids get to pick their own, which they probably never got the chance to do. And it's the name brand stuff that they love. Let's take a look at weather. 10:04. Here's what we're looking at around the Riverbend for the next 24 hours in the next 5 days. But let's take a look at what's happening right now. It's 64 degrees. It feels like 60 today. Breezy and mild with rain and a thunderstorm. Wet roads and lower visibility may lead to travel disruptions tonight. Cloudy, windy, warm, and humid with a couple of showers and a heavy thunderstorm. Now, be on the lookout for these thunderstorms. You did see the map earlier today. Thunderstorms can bring those flooding downpours, hail, and damaging wind gusts. So if you don't need to drive tonight, stay at home, watch a movie, chill out, and call it a good old Monday night. Air quality right now is good at 25, but mold is really high. So if you're having some headache issues today or you're just not feeling the best, could be why. I know why I'm not. 5-day forecast, here's what it looks like. Today, temperatures reach 71 degrees, drop down to 63 overnight, 100% chance of rain throughout the day. Coming up on Tuesday, Election Day, the 5th day of November. Get out and vote. Get out and vote. No matter who you're voting for, vote. Exercise your right. A high is 68, a low of 44 degrees, and 88% chance of precipitation. And on Wednesday, a high of 64, a low of 43 degrees. On Thursday, a high of 62, a low of 44 degrees. And then on Friday, a high of 68, a low of 49. That's a look at the next 5 days. And let's take a look again at what's happening now. 64 degrees in downtown Alton. It feels like 60 out there. Yeah, humidity at 97% and visibility, Brian. We aren't looking very far today, buddy. 3 miles of visibility. The sun will set at 4:56 p.m. tonight as we are officially in fall-winter mode. Before we take a break and take a look at downtown Alton, let me fill you in. Friends of the show, Grid Solar, are you looking to make that switch? You know, or maybe you're just curious and wanting to learn more and more about those nuances that are coming into the solar industry. You know, at Grid Solar, they're all about making really just making this process as easy as it can be, because solar's confusing, and we talk about it on this show. You get those guys that go like this. Hello, yes, you want to buy solar? Sign here, and they never call you back, and you're out $4,000. Not with Grid Solar. They're tried, true, and trusted on both sides of the Metro East, and there's a reason that they're working with municipalities. They're working in agricultural-related solar projects and commercial projects along with residential. All sectors of the energy industry, that's all of us, trust them because they know what they're talking about. They stay up to date on all the changes, all the innovations that come to solar. They were telling us about the net metering change before anybody else. I mean, it was such a good conversation that Ameren watched it in Springfield and called me and said, let's add to it, CJ. That's because Grid Solar knows what they're doing. And when you call Grid Solar, you aren't getting a salesperson. You're getting a teacher. You're getting an educator, someone who's going to inform you about that solar purchase. And what I think's even better about it is if it works for you, great, they're ready to go. And if not, hey, get it. They'll pack up and see you on later down the road. You know, that's what I think's great. It's not about forcing you to make a decision. It's about educating you on all of the aspects of that decision and making sure you're comfortable with a revolutionary change to your energy. And you can learn more at gridsolarllc.com. That's gridsolarllc.com. And don't forget to tell them that I sent you over their way because, well, you know, scratch my back and I'll scratch yours. It's 10:08 and my lower third is still not hold on here. We're going to get this sucker to change here. Hold on. We're going to get this to change. I want it to look right. Let's see. Are we going to get this? Yeah, look at that. All right, we'll take a quick break. But before we do, let's take a look at downtown Alton. Calm before the storm. Daily Show hitting you on this Monday right after this. Ready for fantastic deals? Head to Village Dispensary, where every day is a celebration. Start your week with 25% off Dog Walker pre-rolls on Monday. Tuesday, enjoy 25% off Divs gummies. On Wednesday, enjoy 30% off Nevada pens. On Thursday, it's 30% off CQ sodas, margaritas, and more. Friday, enjoy 3.5 grams of Megatron by NGW and Cronuts number 4 by Paul Bunyan for $25. Visit villagedispo.com and shop now.
Picture This and More has been a trusted name in the Alton community for more than 30 years, with the last 3 being right here on Broadway. We specialize in quality framing at affordable prices. We also feature works by local artists because we're proud of our community. If you have valued treasures to display and preserve, we're sure to have the perfect fit with our large selection of custom framing and display options. Whatever color, shape, or size, Picture This and More has the look you need. Stop by today and let us help you with your next project.
Do you need to declutter your space? Time to call me, the Queen of Junk. Since 1993, we have grown to be the leader in residential, commercial, and property management junk removal. At Sparks Junk Removal, we are eco-friendly. We recycle, donate, or repurpose items back into our community. Trash is our last resort to the landfill. Plus, with our all-inclusive service, our crews handle everything from labor to lifting and landfill fees. Give us a call or visit our website, sparksjunkremoval.net, to reclaim your space today.
Looking for the best barbecue in Madison County? Head over to Carver's Barbecue in Godfrey, Illinois. From loaded barbecue nachos to mouth-watering pulled pork, brisket, ribs, and more, Carver's serves up award-winning flavors you'll love. Family-owned, Carver's is all about fresh, made in-house dishes served daily. Come visit us at 2716 Groveland in Godfrey, or give us a call at 618-467-9999. Order online, get it catered, or stop by for the best smoked meats around. Where great flavors meet family tradition, you'll find Carver's Barbecue.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Electric Avenue.
10-11, welcome back to this. I'm telling you, this is the third night.
Electric Avenue.
There we go.
Higher.
That's me.
Happy Monday, man.
Yeah, indeed. Okay.
A lot of rain.
Yeah, it's a dreary one out there.
Is it a little bit of a tougher day to get any installations done when it's this?
Oh, there's nobody on a roof.
Yeah, that's
today.
what I was about ready to ask, man. Now, how does it work for your crew? I've never asked you that. Whenever you guys have a call-off day because of weather, what's it look like for them? Do they just get the day off, or is it, side work, or what's it look like?
Well, if there is side work that can be done that's inside and stuff like that, yeah, but I mean, 9 times out of 10, it's a day off.
Really cool. Okay. Yeah. Well, and honestly, now we were just talking, you're at the point of the year where it's November the 4th.
Right.
And you're just trying to clean up some of the more complicated of the jobs, correct?
That's it. Yeah, yeah. The ones that were easy peasy are done.
They're done.
They're done. And now we have all the curveballs.
Do you account for those?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Now, what do the curveballs mean? Is it just kind of like logistics issues? Is it how do you encounter a curveball in what you're doing?
So that's a great question. Just based on recent experience, we have municipalities that are more difficult to dot all their I's and cross all their T's. And then the more complicated, the install or the bigger it is, Ameren can start to push back as well.
Gotcha.
About certain design aspects. And so it's just a lot of back and forth with people who aren't super responsive.
So it's one of those where you have to be as focused as you can be until, these things are done, because if you don't, one day could lead to a week of delays.
Absolutely.
That's what I was wondering, yeah.
I mean, and that's the thing is, we never want anything waiting on Grid LLC,
right?
Right? So when we hear about a problem, Grid LLC solves that problem within 24 hours, and then sometimes we wait a week to see,
I'm sure,
is that solution good enough for you? Were you going to respond to us?
Well, and that's good for your current, clients now and the ones that are thinking about it, because there's always something that could arise, and it's just good to know, hey, it's not a grid problem here. We're out here working,
Right, and that's kind of why we did the timing the way we did with August and everything,
100%,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, if we're planning on worst case scenario, anybody who signed by August 15th, honestly, worst case scenario, we've got that covered too.
Right.
Right, and then everybody that signs after that, you're like, yeah, most case scenario, really, really pushing it here. I'm
Right.
not sure. People ask now, do you think we can get one in before the end of the year? And it's like, I mean, is it possible? Yes. Is it probable? Probably not.
Well, and see, I feel like when you have to rush, nothing ever is good that way, you know. And I'm not saying that you guys would do a bad job, but it feels like whenever it's like, oh, we have to get it now, we have to get it now. It's, I think maybe a couple of months and maybe just a couple more conversations could make that process more smooth and realize it's not the end of the world if you don't get it right now.
It really isn't.
You know?
It really isn't. So that's another curveball that's gotten thrown at us.
Yeah.
Is Tesla. Like Tesla has just announced that basically there's a 3 to 6 month lag time on their batteries.
Yeah.
And we don't control that in any way. So, you know, we're trying to roll with it, and we're offering customers an alternate product.
And that's what we were talking about before we came on the air, correct? A little bit about this battery?
Yes.
Or is this a different?
Well, so no. So basically, we're offering a special now because obviously for all Ameren, Illinois customers, a battery is going to be wise,
right?
If not required. It's not required, but like I said, it is oftentimes wise. So to that end, basically, we're offering a Lumen Smart Panel with the purchase of any battery in Illinois. So what a Lumen Smart Panel is going to do is it's going to take the circuits that you want backed up all the time, right? I want to make sure this is backed up. It's going to take those and separate it out of your current main electrical panel.
Wow.
Okay, and so then those will be controlled by the Lumen Smart Panel, and you can literally control those from your phone. So, you have to go down to your basement to just flip a breaker right now. With the Lumen Smart Panel, you can do it from your phone.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Well, and I wanted to ask you about that too, because I've wanted to for a couple weeks, keep forgetting. In Alton, in this area, there's some older homes that wiring and panels become a little bit of an issue for when you're trying to sell the house, getting everything up to code. Whenever you guys encounter an older house, is that asbestos wiring or, older boxes? Is that something that has to be completely changed, or can that kind of fit right into the system?
So, when it comes to electrical work, the general rule of thumb is you always want to leave it up to code.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Right.
So if you find it not up to code,
time to bring it up to code.
Then a lot of times you're suggesting, here's the work that I need to do to get you what you want, but then I have to do this extra work to get the other things up to code. So you run that, and those are curveballs. Like you've just,
I'm sure,
you discovered another curveball. Like, hey, we're going to do this installation. Oh, and now we just found out that when we opened your panel up, there's some things not up to code. So
have you found a wattage or amp issue with some of these older panels too, where they aren't producing as much as they should? Because that was kind of something new that I learned the other day, is that some of these older houses, not a lot, but some just don't have the same wattage that maybe a newer panel would have.
So are you talking about like solar panels, or are you talking about the
actual
main
electric panel?
So so that's really about amperage, right?
Yeah,
every one of them is 120 volts and 240, right?
Okay.
So if you have a 100 amp panel, then yeah, I mean, by today's standards,
right,
that's not very much.
That's what I was curious about. Right. Okay.
So can you put solar on that panel? Maybe. Mm-hmm. Probably. Right? Would it be wise to upgrade it at the same time that you're doing the solar?
I get you. Okay.
Probably. Yes.
Well, and see, why wouldn't you? If you're already doing the bigger project, you might as well just go ahead and take an extra step or two and update it.
Right, if that's necessary.
Yeah.
See, a lot of people see an old panel and they go, it must need to be updated because it's old. That's not necessarily true.
That's so interesting.
Right?
Yeah.
Like the way that they test these things, I mean, like 1 out of 6 million gets to fail because they're going in people's houses where their kids sleep. So they have a very low tolerance for failure.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you see there's certain brands that are absolutely like, this should go, right? Like Federal Pacific is the most common one.
Right.
It's just, if you see a Federal Pacific, it is wise to have that removed.
Well, and see, it's just fascinating to talk about that because, I mean, just hearing that 1 in 6 million, because I think sometimes people look at
made that number up.
Well, no, but it's yeah, that's true. But I mean, it's just like, you're right, it's kind of a rare thing, but just to have, I'm sure people think about that when they're living in Christian Hill or Middletown, when they have an older box going, oh, now I got to get this fixed. Well, call first and see what the process is and see if it'll work.
Right, and let's not forget that most Federal Pacific boxes that still exist out there, they've been in the house for 50 years and haven't burned it down yet.
That's a good point. Right.
Right, but like it's something like changing a GFI or putting another breaker in there, who knows? you change something, and who knows from there. So,
Exactly, man.
Peace of mind, how much is that worth to you?
Well, and now, how important is it for you guys the next couple of weeks really just to stay focused? Because I'm sure as a company, you want to make sure you're getting answers fast for your clients and your projects. But is there like a less is more approach when it comes to it, or do you have to send as many emails and make as many phone calls as you can until someone hears you? I've wondered that for your guys' time and management balance. If you're waiting on the red tape or of a municipality or whatever Ameren wants to change, do you have to kind of keep forcing that issue, or is it just better to wait?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes we have our, kind of threshold where, I call it a poke, where we sometimes poke again.
Yeah.
We ask the same question. We're not trying to annoy anybody, and we know everybody has their process, but at the same time, it's like, did this fall off the radar, right? So as, the time crunch gets, more and more extreme, then
that makes sense.
We might not wait a week to ask again. We might wait a day or two to ask again. So, I mean...
It's very fascinating, though.
Yeah, we just try to, meet the market where it is.
So let's get back to this battery real quick, because, this is a really great thing. So you can... my hot water heater now, because I just bought a new one, does that with the phone. Is it kind of the same concept where you have an app and you can just open the app and control your panel from that?
Yeah, so you'll have, and that's really controlling those circuits,
yeah,
right? So you're not going to do that very often, but you have the capability of doing it. So you're in Florida and you get a notice on your solar that the power went out and that your battery kicked on. Well, if you're in Florida, like obviously, thank God my battery kicked on, right? And you can make sure the sump pump gets the power, but the garage door doesn't need it because I'm in Florida, right? So you can sit there and say, from really Florida. Cool. Here's what I want to make sure has power, so it's make sure that stuff stays backed up.
Now, do you guys normally, when you're looking at November and December, is it really just to play it by ear for installation dates because of how unpredictable the weather can be, or do you guys normally take a couple of weeks off of getting on the roofs in December?
I wish. This dream scenario. No, and that's the thing, is that we're going to have every day scheduled, but we know days like these are going to be there. So, it'd be nice to be able to plan, like, let's have a poker game on the day it's going to rain, but we never know it's going to rain.
Yes.
So, we basically try to schedule about 4 days every week and plan on 1 day of lost work.
So, has the phone kept ringing pretty busy for you guys? You said that you already have folks going, hey, month and 21 days until we got to get this switched over, so why don't we just go ahead and build now? Has it been a high call volume?
Yeah, you still have the folks who again are asking, like, one more? You think you can get one more in? And then of course the folks who are completely new to it. So that, like I said, of course it slowed down a little bit because of all the people who were on the fence and then decided to go for it right before net metering.
It's so fascinating just how people's minds work too.
Right.
Where it's like it's never really a pressing issue until you get told you can't have something anymore, and then it's like, call now. You know?
I've been thinking about it, and it's like, yeah, so something got you off of it, yeah.
So when did you start thinking about 08?
Yeah. Yeah, but now something's taken away from me, and now it's important. Yeah, absolutely.
We'll take a quick break. Ryan will come back here in a second. It's 10:23 and a little bit of change on this 4th day of November. More Daily Show right after this.
I set the thermostat so my house would be warm when I got home from work, but the kitchen is still cool.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we stand behind every Linux system we sell.
My dealer said he'd take care of everything.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we understand everyone wants prompt, professional service.
Turns out it wasn't my furnace after all, just a little something blocking the vent.
Pretty smart dog if you ask me. For service you can count on, call Barrett Heating and Cooling.
Lennox, innovation never felt so good.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible, covering auto, home, business, and life insurance. Our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
I had an amazing experience with Dr. Haug and her team. I came here when I was 10 years old to get my braces on. Now I'm 28 years old, braces off, and I get so many compliments on my smile. It's helped me thrive in my career as a news reporter, and also as Miss Missouri USA, I took the stage with confidence, knowing my smile was gonna make me look like $1 million. I've never felt better and more confident because of my smile.
You won't find a better health club than Nautilus Fitness Center. More cardio, more free weights and equipment, more classes, a swimming pool, and more. If you're serious about your health and want to make a change, then stop thinking about it and visit Nautilus Fitness Center on Industrial Drive in Alton. Don't fall for the hype you get from the other health clubs. Nautilus is the Riverbend's premier health club. Has been for years and will be for years to come. Get to Nautilus Fitness Center and get started on a healthier new you.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
I'm by myself, man. I'm now coming to find out that I'm living in the 1920s with my kilowatt hour.
Yeah.
I'm never home, man.
Yeah. I mean, congrats.
No, it's not. That's why I'm leaving at 11:30 today, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. But yeah, so I'm going to send this to you, but because we were going to do this, but it's just amazing. Like, I really don't use that much power.
Yeah.
And that was a busy month.
And, I could probably guess some things about your house just based on that. Like,
yeah.
It's a ranch.
Yep.
Okay. You have a basement?
Dirt block basement.
Okay, so it's crawl space then?
You can walk in it, but it's still a dirt. It's,
Okay.
Kind of one of those, they just set it on top of it.
Sure. But yeah, I mean, what I'm saying, like, there's certain things you can guess, like 370 kilowatt. And not only that, it's October, so even a bigger house, like our house is probably going to use 800 to 900 kilowatt hours.
Interesting.
But we'll use 2,200 in August.
I could see that every bit of the way. And actually, You know what's funny? This is up from my August bill.
Oh, really?
It is.
Oh my
Isn't that incredible?
Turn your air conditioner down already.
They get so mad at me because I'm like, I keep that sucker at 76, and because I'm not up. But you were getting ready to go and meet with an individual, and we aren't going to have to talk about the name or anything, but it's so fascinating to hear, and I'm not messing with you, and I'm so tired of almost effing with you because I'm just, getting back into this, but it's the fact that it doesn't matter how, it just seems like there's always an option and an avenue for the bill to be, just the savings to be there, but also and then some, to where you're not just breaking even on something. I mean, you are going to see a return in some way, shape, or form, and this is the case here.
Absolutely, yeah. So, we're showing folks most of the time when we sit down with them now, we're showing them a system without a battery, and typically we're going to start just general. We're going to start cutting your power bill in half with a system without a battery. Now, if we want to cut your power bill by more than half, that's where the battery is going to really be economically advantageous. So the savings with just cutting her power bill in half, the 25-year savings, is $55,000.
That's incredible. I mean, that's really incredible.
Yeah, and that's, again, just cutting her power bill in half. So she's going to rent half her power, she's going to own half of it with solar, and she's going to save $55,000.
Well, and see, that's the thing. Because to me, a lot of people now in Alton, and the folks that are coming in, because the state is still, there's some folks leaving. Numbers are being argued with all the time on that anyway. But in Alton, people are really plotting out to be here for the long haul. They're buying houses in Middletown that, always were scaring people away from buying because of that energy bill, because of, the heating and air and all of that and the electric. But now, I mean, you have a chance to own a beautiful historic home. and you can save a lot. I mean, save tons of money in the process with this.
So yeah, you talked about something like, somebody might have just heard 25-year savings, 55,000. Well, who's planning on staying here 25 years? So if you heard that, like the break-even point on that system though is like four and a half years.
Right. That's why I said
So,
you're really even within not even a quarter of the time.
Exactly.
It's amazing.
And I don't know what car I'm going to own in 5 years, let alone where I'm going to live. So, yeah. And then the system that was more, closer to the 75+% of her power bill, and that added the battery. So obviously added expense because more panels and more battery. That system still saves $85,000.
It's incredible.
And so, and that's the other thing is the savings still goes up. So, even though the battery is expensive and everything, and then she obviously is going to get the benefit of backup power with the battery as well. So, people are hearing that net metering is gone and solar must not make any sense at all anymore.
Right.
No. Solar still makes a ton of sense, literally to the tune of tens of thousands of dollars compared to sticking with your power company.
Well, and see, that's what I just think so fascinating about this. When we talk with you and you talk with your clients, I mean, it really isn't a sale. And I mean that. And that's got to be really something you pride yourself on, because in an industry full of salespeople and no experts, I mean, when people are knocking on your doors, the conversation's got to just be welcome with someone, especially if they have that first bad experience, and they're talking with y'all.
Yeah, and I mean, even the lady I'm going to today, she kind of got turned off and stopped thinking about it for a while because of a couple bad experiences,
100%.
a couple bad apples, and like you said. At Grid LLC, we educate customers. We do the math for them, educate them on the math for their particular house, right? And then those numbers either sell it or they don't, and that's why it is sad that there's so many salespeople that feel like there's something to sell here.
Yeah.
And, and it's like, it's just, you really just don't need to do that.
Well, you don't, because this is people that are doing this are already interested. Now it's how do we help them? How do we make sure this works for them?
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's a true partnership instead of a sales relationship, because you got to have somebody that really knows their stuff. And when you have, seriously, and I keep bragging about this, number one, because it shows people watch the show, but two, it shows how people trust your word. When Amron calls me right after you guys are on and says, hey, we want to add to this conversation. This was great. Let's add to it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a reason for that. They aren't coming on here to dispel what you guys had to say. They said, hey, they're right. And here's what else we're doing.
Well, think about the name of our company, Grid LLC, right? We acknowledge that the grid exists and we have to work with them. Like, just in the name of our company, right? You've got all these sun, solar, photo, whatever. All of these companies talking about sun and everything, right, with their solar companies. But like, we talk about the reality of the world we live in, which is the grid exists and you have to work with it.
Listen, the sun's only going to get you so far, pal.
Exactly. Exactly. That's exactly right.
Well, and then you guys do something that's so that shows the professionalism. Some of these companies, I see them and I hear them talking. It's like they're blaming the power company for what they're doing. And it's like, no, you got to work with them. I mean, they're going to be there regardless.
Right. You really do.
I lied, by the way. I will be honest about my line. My highest kilowatt hour usage was 747 kilowatt hours in September. So that was
okay. That was a warm September.
It was a very warm September.
Yeah.
My hairspray always goes out when it gets too hot in there, man. So I got to turn that sucker down. But I'm going to download this just to take a look, and just to see how it works and breaks down. But how long are you going to be there with this client today? How long is that process when you're meeting them with the bill? How long does that kind of last?
So that's a great question. It takes me about 30 to 45 minutes to really, lay the whole thing out for you. And, I've been at folks' house for 3.5 hours, right?
No kidding.
Absolutely. Now, I would be lying if I said that was all talking about solar. But honestly, if we're only talking about solar and you have all of the good questions, I could be there for 2 hours.
Easily. Easily, 100%.
Yeah.
Now, today, whenever people are off the roofs, is this where you guys kind of have a chance to catch your breath and maybe just kind of, I mean, you're always organized, but just kind of reconfigure, hey, here's where we're at, let's look at this some more?
Yeah, and I mean, we do that every week. Do
you really? I mean,
absolutely.
how, not being funny, but how do you? Because you guys have your phones ringing all the time right now, and I mean, it seems tough.
Well, and we have all of the parts of the business that we have to deal with, project management, accounting, install, scheduling, right? And so we just try to get all of those parts together, and we literally talk about every customer every week.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
See, I love this, man.
Like we're a small company, so it's not like the list isn't 100 customers long. You know,
it's perfect. I mean, it's perfect because that's the problem sometimes with some of these bigger. It doesn't matter if it's solar. I mean, hell, even roofing, you get them kind of like a number at the meat deli, you know, where it's like, okay, that's number 17, and not with you guys.
Right.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like that deli, he's going to get to know that 1,000 customers that
Yeah,
walk through the
you're
door
right,
every
man.
single time, and he's going to know Mrs. Jones and I'll welcome him in.
Yeah,
You know.
I wanted to ask you this. I haven't yet, but now that I'm looking at my bill, and this is a CJ question, how does gas heat affect your solar energy or solar decision?
So gas heat actually. So when you have gas heat, you're heating with a different energy source, natural gas. So your electric usage goes way down.
Right.
Right. Which is good because the solar production goes way down in the winter as well. So your usage curve and the production curve of your system actually match each other in the winter.
Are you serious?
They both go down.
Wow, this is cool. See, I like asking questions for me. I hope you guys are getting interested over there.
And actually, the lady I'm going to today, she has a usage curve that goes up in the winter. So one of two things: she either uses an electric heater, she has an electric furnace, or she uses space heaters. One of those two.
How bad are space heaters for that power, Bill?
So a typical furnace for your whole house is going to use about 3,000 to 4,000 watts.
Okay.
A space heater is 1,500.
Oh my goodness.
So they are incredibly power hungry.
Wow. So it's one of those where, not being funny, but it's kind of pick your poison on, do you want to have maybe an extra blanket or two, or do you want to have a little bit more of an expensive month?
Well, and actually, I tell folks with gas heat, I say it will cost you less money to crank your entire house up a couple of degrees
Will it really?
than to use this space heater in this one room.
No kidding.
Yeah. So if you're
God,
cold,
I love talking to you.
Crank up your whole house for a couple degrees because gas is considerably more efficient at heating your home.
It really is, man.
Than
I'm not
electric.
even being funny. Like my house when it turns on, and now granted, yeah, you're all laughing at me, but I keep it at 71 because I'm just not that cold of a person. And it takes like 2 seconds, and it's like 64 to 71 in like literally 2 minutes.
It's always much faster. And then think about this. So with electric heat, we burn natural gas to create electricity.
Yeah.
To then send that electricity to your house to create heat. Why not just send the natural gas to your house, burn it in your house, and then create
Call
heat
it a
there?
day.
Right.
Yeah.
Cut out the middle. Cut out the middleman.
So, what's the next couple of weeks looking for you, just personally?
Well, we just got done with Halloween, so at this point, I haven't really started looking forward to
Are you just waking
yet.
up from the Tyson knockout from Halloween? Because I mean, I am like kind of fumbling. Parents are struggling.
Yeah, don't even. Yeah, absolutely. And we have Thanksgiving at our house. So.
Oh God.
Right, it's almost time to start playing.
Hey,
already.
but you know what? When you have solar, you don't have to worry about all those crock pots being plugged in.
That is fair. Powered by, I'm cooking with the sun.
That's right. And now, what's the special you're running? And then let's talk about the kiosk, and then we'll wrap up for today.
So it's the Lumen Smart Panel for any system that has a battery. So again, pick your circuits that you want backed up, control them from anywhere. And then, we're at the St. Clair Square kiosk right at the entrance to basically near Macy's. So the entrance to the main mall right by Macy's. Opposite side is food court. Come on in, see us. We're going to be there Thursdays in the weekend until after Thanksgiving, and we'll be there more.
This is really cool. I just downloaded my report. Jason will be getting an email here shortly. And I'm excited for going through this in 2 weeks.
Yeah, very good.
And I'm excited for the individual that's going to meet with you next and seeing how you're going to save a ton of money. For more information, gridsolarllc.com. That's gridllc.com. And don't forget to tell them that Riverbender sent you over their way because we love having them on the show. Ryan, as always, thanks for your time, man.
Hey, thank you, CJ.
Taking a quick break. Beyond the Shelves next.
Life's better when you're under the American Family Insurance roof because they know your house is home base for their dreams. Whether it's a kid like me aiming for the big leagues, ready? Future rocket scientist, or a budding prima ballerina. When you feel totally protected, your family's free to pursue their dreams. She's good.
Let's go.
American Family Insurance.
When life throws unexpected challenges your way, you need a versatile legal ally to protect you. Sean Lentz, with over 12 years of experience, is here to help you in a variety of avenues. From personal injury to criminal defense and even semi-truck accidents, Sean Lentz has your back. Don't wait for the justice that you deserve. Call 618-465-8000 and see how Sean can help you today.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
Ready for fantastic deals? Head to Village Dispensary, where every day is a celebration. Start your week with 25% off Dog Walker pre-rolls on Monday. Tuesday, enjoy 25% off Divs gummies. On Wednesday, enjoy 30% off Nevada pens. On Thursday, it's 30% off CQ sodas, margaritas, and more. Friday, enjoy 3.5 grams of Megatron by NGW and Cronuts number 4 by Paul Bunyan for $25. Visit VillageDispo.com and shop now.
Picture This and More has been a trusted name in the Alton community for more than 30 years, with the last 3 being right here on Broadway. We specialize in quality framing at affordable prices. We also feature works by local artists because we're proud of our community. If you have valued treasures to display and preserve, we're sure to have the perfect fit with our large selection of custom framing and display options. Whatever color, shape, or size, Picture This and More has the look you need. Stop by today and let us help you with your next project.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
But I saw him. He's a nice guy.
Very nice gentleman.
Yeah.
Mary Cordes, the executive director of Hayner Library. Met your niece the other day.
Oh, yeah.
Very respectful.
Oh, good. I'm always glad to hear that. I know. And then my next question is which one? Because between Paul and I, we have 18 nieces
my
and
God.
nephews. So
I'm one of them.
Which
one
one?
of them.
So, yeah.
How's everything at the library?
It's going well. Going well. It's busy, but it's going well.
Man,
so.
I'm telling you what, you guys are cooking with peanut oil, right?
We've got a lot going on.
Speaking of cooking, how's your cookbook club?
It went so well. In fact, it went so well that we're going to have one again in December.
Was it well attended?
It was, and people had a great time, and they did exactly what we thought. People started talking about cooking tips and hints, and
anyone trashing each other?
No, no, it was really great because there was like all people were saying like, "Did you know you can do this?" and this is how you can substitute that, and it was just exactly what we thought it would be, and it turned out so.
It's just incredible.
We were just really happy with it. Yeah.
Well,
so we have another one coming up in December. So.
And with that being said, there's a ton to talk about. I was going through your newsletter today, which is really a book, and I was at home going through it, and I went, where do we start?
I know. Well, there is so much going on, so I always before I come in, I make little notes about things. The first thing I wanted to say is the company that we get our registration, that we use our phone registration through, I think it was sold to another company, and it was a seamless transition. Well, it turned out not to be so seamless. So if people call the registration line to register for programs, it is working, but there might be a little funny message at the end, and we're trying to work on getting that figured out. It just started happening on Friday, of course, right before we were all ready to go home. So, but it should be fine. It should be up and running. It's just going to have a funny little message at the end, but registration's working. So everything we talk about today, you'll be able to
register.
Yes.
That's good.
Yeah.
So where do we start first? What's the big one?
So we've got a couple of things coming up for the kids that are a little different. We've got a story time at Lucy's Playhouse at Haskell Park. So on November 15th and December 13th, our Fridays, which are Friday story times, they are going to be at 10 o'clock in Lucy's Playhouse. And Mary Kay and Panda Bear will be there for our interactive story time. So if you're looking for a different place to go for story time, you can come to the Lucy's Playhouse on Henry Street, and we'll be having story times there. So that's kind of fun. And then our teen space, our graphic novel writers guild. So this is something new that teens are working on creating their own. It's a 3-class series. And so this is the second one, but you can definitely come to it even if you didn't come to the first one. It's for teens, and they're going to learn how to create their own graphic novel. And so
that is so
it
cool.
is fun. And
but not to cut you off, graphic novels are so fascinating.
They
to me
are.
Because you think it would be this easy feat until you really start to explore
Yes.
them. And what I think is even cooler about graphic novels, and I don't know why I went on a rant about this, but I just had Hartmann on. He brings it out in me.
Oh, yeah.
But it's the fact that like when you see someone try to make a novel that was already like a young A novel, a graphic piece, they go one or two ways. Where like the Harry Potter one, some of them were like brilliant and beautiful, and some got a lot of flack because it took away from what was already imagined.
Yes, and they really are their own art form.
Yeah.
I mean, they're also really great. I mean, you can look at them different ways. You can look at them, for the art and the artistry of the creation itself, and then they're kind of a gateway for reading, especially for younger readers, because they kind of start with graphic novels or maybe English as a second language, or people who are working on their literacy skills. You can start with a graphic novel, and you can kind of use the pictures to help you as you're navigating your way through the text, and then it kind of leads as a gateway. Once you sort of master that, then you go on into other books. So they're great for so many different reasons.
Well, and honestly, that is a good point, because I mean that really is. It seems like those are how you capture a young reader's attention first.
Absolutely.
Have you ever noticed though some of those damn graphic novels? They have the most beautiful illustrations, but are the worst reads.
I know.
I mean, those are the biggest disappointments. I was always notorious. It's like how I pick slot machines. I pick I pick the nicest looking machine or book, and then I get there and it's the biggest dud of them all. So that's where my gambling problem started.
That was a gateway for you for something else.
CJ's therapy session continues. So do you have and I'm sorry for kind of going back and forth, but did we talk about the book fair?
No, so that's coming up in December. And
yeah,
so we just had our final. We have a slot. We had 25 tables for the local author book fair, and that's going to be held on Saturday, December 7th from 11 to 2 at the mall library, just outside of the mall in the courtyard outside the mall between the mall library and JCPenney.
Are they doing wrapping this year out there?
I believe so.
Good.
Yeah, so
that's my favorite.
It'll be right by the Community Service League's gift wrap table. So kind of convenient. You can come out on Saturday, December 7th between 11 and 2. We'll have 25 authors, and we actually just had our 25th author register today. So we're totally full author-wise. So you can come out, you can meet 25 local authors, and they're all different genres, all different backgrounds, children's books, sci-fi. I don't know if we have any graphic novels or not, but you can come out, you can talk to the authors, you can buy their books, you can have them autographed, and then you can just walk right over,
cool.
10 feet away, and you can have them wrapped for the Christmas season. It's a really great opportunity. We'll also have library card registration that day. We'll have some demos of our Library of Things materials, and we'll have a little craft for the kids. So it's kind of a nice library open house too.
Well, and it's a good way to kind of wrap up the year for you guys, because that's your last bigger event, right? And
it is.
Okay.
It is. Yeah. That it's kind of it's a really great weekend for the library, because you can come out to the local author book fair while you're doing your Christmas shopping on Saturday, and then on Sunday, the following day, you can go to Lewis and Clark College to the Benjamin Godfrey Chapel.
Oh yeah!
But we have a partnership between us and the music department at Lewis and Clark College, and we're presenting Switchback, a Celtic Christmas, and so you can come to the Christmas concert.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it's a really great concert, and people weren't able to have it last year, and so many people asked us, when are they coming? When are they coming?
It's incredible.
So yeah, they'll be 2:00 on December 8th on Sunday at the Benjamin Godfrey Chapel at Lewis and Clark College.
So before we take our pause here, two things. I honestly thought today was the 28th of October again, and almost said start talking about your November 2nd events. But one thing that I always want to point out, especially because I have my finger on the pulse, allegedly, when it comes to child cartoon characters.
Okay.
November the 9th, from 10 to 11 a.m. Bluey.
Yes.
We like to party, Bluey?
There's all kind. You know what? I know a bunch of little Quarters children that are going to be at that.
Is it We Like to Party that's going to be with you guys?
I believe so.
She is a hard-working girl.
Yeah.
Bluey is going to be there, and I'm
Bluey.
telling you, me saying that now should mean that the registration line should be going off the hook. How many can you hold?
So we can hold a decent amount, but space is limited. So to register, you need to call our children's department at 618-433-2881. And I believe there's some spots left. It might be full. I'm not 100% sure.
I knew it would be. Bluey is huge.
Yes, huge. It's Saturday, December 9th.
Like Elvis.
So it's this coming Saturday at 10 o'clock at our Alton Square Mall upstairs in the upper. That is like the Elvis for kids.
It is.
At Alton Square Mall in our
They're going to have
performance
those
room
damn
upstairs.
light bulb signs that just say Bluey going up. Hey, we're going to come back real quick. I got to take one final break because it's been a jam-packed show.
Sure.
But there's a lot to talk about. We got Puzzle Me This, the Flash Fiction Writer Circle, Sacred Spaces that Kara wanted to talk about, so much more. But my nose is itching, and I got to take care of my problems and some branching out classes and some big events. So you stay there. We'll stay here in downtown Alton on RiverBender.com, times 1050. We'll come right back after this.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Life's better when you're under the American Family Insurance roof because they know your house is home base for their dreams. Whether it's a kid like me aiming for the big leagues, ready? Future rocket scientist, or a budding prima ballerina. When you feel totally protected, your family's free to pursue their dreams. She's good.
Let's go.
American Family Insurance.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
Yo, what up? It's Mike Keith, the proud graduate of Lewis and Clark Community College. I got my start in broadcasting and now I work all over the country. I discovered my path in media, but I could have been an electrician. Or I could have been a nurse.
Maybe not.
I had an amazing experience with Dr. Haug and her team. I came here when I was 10 years old to get my braces on. Now I'm 28 years old, braces off, and I get so many compliments on my smile. It's helped me thrive in my career as a news reporter, and also as Miss Missouri USA, I took the stage with confidence, knowing my smile was gonna make me look like $1 million. I've never felt better and more confident because of my smile.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank, the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
There'll be peace when you are done.
How about that?
Lay your weary head to rest. Don't you cry.
You'll never cry when you got your Hayner library card. You're saving a lot of money. I have never had that heavy of a song.
I know. That was kind of deep there.
I think I hit the wrong. I wanted No Melody by Bill Withers. Okay. But back to Mary. So a couple of things just to take note of. There's some tried and true things that have been going on for a long time that are happening this week. X's and So's continues on Tuesday. Teen Crime Stoppers 4 to 6 p.m. on Wednesday. But I wanted to talk about this Sacred Spaces of Care training series. Megan does a great job.
She does.
And at first, and this sounds it's going to sound bad, but I've told Megan this before on the show. It's what she was talking about, especially when it comes to first responders and mental health and suicide rates. It's something that I didn't really consider at all growing up. You don't think about those things.
Nope.
But when she had herself and Lieutenant Ciatos on, just talking about some of the ways that the Alton Police Department, what they're doing to help this crisis, and also just for us to learn as a community ways and different factors of mental health, how we can help each other in programs available.
And this one coming up, which is going to be on Wednesday from 6 to 7:30, it's going to be at our Alton Square Mall upstairs in the performance room. We're actually going to focus on healthy habits and hang-ups, or health habits and hang-ups.
Yeah.
So with the holidays coming up, that can trigger a lot of stress for people and a lot of emotional situations for people. And so this is going to kind of talk about relationships and social influences and how to regulate emotions and how to share tools for wellness. So this could hit a lot of people in a lot of different ways.
Well,
so
and
it's
that's
helpful.
what's good, because I wanted to talk to Megan about this too, because everyone wants to maybe be more active and go to a gym or outside and walk, but it's very uncomfortable for so many people.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, I'm not going to a gym when there's some meathead that's grunting at a bench press. You know what I'm saying? So how can we find other options or maybe different ways? That's great.
Yeah.
Okay, and now also Puzzle Me This.
Yes, Puzzle Me This.
This is a bigger event.
So this is going to be really fun, and this is the competition. It's Saturday, November 16th from 11 to 2. And what's really fun about it is puzzlers can come together. You can create a team of up to 4 people, and you come and you compete against other teams to put together these really cool jigsaw puzzles that have been created specifically for this event. And they're actually in partnership between the library and the graphic communications department at the high school.
Yep.
And they're all local history related puzzles.
We had Renee on about this.
Yes, yes,
okay.
yeah. And so they're very, very cool. And so not only is it just kind of a fun opportunity to get together with your friends and put these puzzles together, but it's a great partnership between the library and the Alton High students. And also it's a really cool way to see some local history too. So these are really fun. And like I said, 11 to 2, Genealogy and Local History Library on Saturday, November 16th. And you can even come and just watch the competition too if you want. You don't have to participate, but you can come and watch and look at the puzzles.
Thing. Like, honestly, it's one of those where the timing of it's perfect. Go have stop by, watch Puzzle Me This, and go take a walk. Stop by Solera on a Saturday afternoon and go have a glass of wine or go somewhere.
Depending on what the weather's like too. If it's a little cooler, we could have the fireplaces on in the library. Yeah. It's just a beautiful building, and so you can take advantage of that.
It's the most beautiful building.
I think it is too, but I'm a little biased.
It's
but it is beautiful, and so you can turn the fireplaces on, and it'll just be a really nice afternoon for everybody.
Really cool. Now your writer circle keeps growing, doesn't it?
It does, and we've got a writer circle coming up.
November the 16th.
Thank you very much.
Same
November
day
16th.
Puzzle Me. I have the full calendar in front of my face.
And
that's
I'm flipping back and forth
I am
frantically
not this prepared.
trying to find the dates and times. So I think this one's fast fiction.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
You were good.
Flash
fiction on November the 16th.
So that's going to be. We have this writer circle, and there's a group of people that have been coming to these, and they've really developed a good following with this program, and we do limit it to, I believe it's about 10 people, because sometimes you get too many people, and when you're trying to get feedback from each other about the stories that you're writing, it can become a lot. So this one's Flash Fiction, and it's at the Alton Square Library from 10 to 12 in the multipurpose room.
And it's not the same as Flash Dancing. I was going to ask that.
Totally different program. Totally different program.
One thing I wanted to ask you about, because I know that there's we've touched on a lot of the bigger events in November, but also wanted to hit on the hiring event from the Department of Human Services.
Yes, this is one I really wanted to talk about, because we've got the Illinois Department of Human Services coming, and it's called We're Hiring. And so what's really great about this, it's going to be Tuesday, November 19th, and it's from 1 to 2:30 p.m. at the Alton Square Mall Library downstairs in the multipurpose room. We're actually going to have someone coming from the Illinois Department of Human Services, and they're going to talk about how to it's a recruitment team, and they're going to cover topics related to applying for state employment positions, creating a state profile so that
Really
you
cool.
can apply for these positions, and then the best practices to when applying for careers with the state of Illinois. So this is really helpful if you or someone you know has been trying to get a job with the state. This is going to tell you exactly how to do it,
Yeah.
what jobs are available, how to apply for them, and create a profile. And it's free. It's totally free.
Well, and too,
So-
I mean, if you aren't looking for a job with the state, what are you not looking at? I mean, the best retirement pack. I mean,
right,
you're gonna. Now it's a lot of hard work.
It is. It
but
is.
I mean, you get a jump start right here at the local
Mhm,
library because
mhm.
those are things that people don't know when they're going for those jobs that are really
Yeah,
different
yeah,
jobs. I
they
mean, your
are.
hiring process is
Their
totally
hiring
different.
process is totally different. You need to create a state profile, and so sometimes that can be a bit overwhelming for people because you kind of really don't know where to start. So
Yeah.
this program is going to help you create that profile, and a copy of the presentation will be emailed to everybody who attends the program.
So
you can
cool.
go back and reference
Yeah,
it again
well,
if you need help.
It
So-
shows what Hayner is so good at because we're talking about writer circles and kids parties and but I mean this could be life-changing
It
for
could.
somebody.
It really
and
could.
house all these things in just in 1 month is incredible.
Yep, yeah, we're really happy to have this one. When they contacted us, because we always, we're always out there trying to find programs, and I had contacted this person and said, "Do you have anything like this?" And they said, "We actually do." And so it's just kind of
incredible.
a great way to help people out.
Now you were going to be closed the 28th through the 31st.
28th through the 3rd closed.
It says library closed for Thanksgiving, the 28th through the
Oh,
30th.
we're closed on Thursday and Friday.
Oh,
Just Thursday and Friday.
But you will
so
be open the 30th and 31st.
Yeah, we'll be open.
Okay.
Yeah, that Saturday and Sunday. That's why I thought we are. Well, that's
Sorry,
news to me.
I was
no,
giving
that's
y'all
okay.
extra days off.
No, I'll double check that on our website. No, we're closed. We're closed on Thanksgiving Day and the following Friday.
And so what should we hit on before we close out today?
So the only thing I can think of that we haven't really touched upon is we do have a virtual presentation that's
Oh, do you?
happening, and this is great for people that don't want to, can't get out of the house
Yeah.
or don't want to head out of the house. Or it's November 20th. It's Holiday Tips and Tricks with Chef Art
No
Smith.
kidding.
So people know
Wow.
Chef Art Smith, and that's part of our Illinois Libraries Presents program. So if you go to the Hayner Library website, haynerlibrary.org, and you go to our events calendar
incredible.
and click on November 20th, there'll be a link for that. You can just click on it, register, and then you can actually watch that
You mean like
program.
this?
Yes, you can click on that registration link right there, and that will let you apply for the program or register for the program. And if you don't have a computer at home and you want to watch it at the library, you're more than welcome to come in, and we'll get you set
This
up on the
is
computer.
so perfect for folks that maybe it's going to be colder anyway.
It is.
So
It
it's
is.
either if you don't want to leave your house, or you can't for some surgery, you name it.
Yep.
You got something.
Yep, Holiday Tips and Tricks with Chef Art Smith.
Mary
So-
Cordes, the calm before the storm.
That's right. That's right. Yes.
Tomorrow will be a lot different than today, but you gave me a very calm end to my Monday.
Yeah.
I'm going home. I am done. So with that being said, get your darn library cards,
Yeah.
and don't forget to tell them when you walk over that CJ said, hey, he told me to get a library card and save a lot of money.
Yeah,
And
a lot
support
of
our
money.
local community.
That's right.
Mary, thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.
We're out of time. I will see you. Go vote tomorrow morning. I don't want to hear you complaining no matter what. You got to go vote. If you don't vote, you can't complain. That's my thought.
There you go.
Mary. You
There
know?
you go.
All right, until
All right.
tomorrow, try your best to stay out of jail.
He once knew, oh yes he did. He said it